Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. My name is Mike McGill. I'm with the Florida Search and Rescue. I'm also with the United States Army. I've had a couple years of experience in doing combat search and rescue, different types of search and rescues. I did combat search and rescue for the United States Army overseas and in different countries. I have certifications also with MARSOC, which is the Marine Corps Special Operations, and different other little programs out there for help to do search and rescue. Today, what I want to do is create a video for a chance for you to learn some of the different skills or techniques and devices, mainly of what that we're using, that I think that you'll find very, very helpful in the future. It's kind of like a review of some of the equipment that I use and that I have, and something that maybe interests you. So here you go. I'm going to add up a couple of videos, put them together, and see if there's anything I can do for you. Like I said, you can find us on Florida Search and Rescue. We're not really a search and rescue team, such as we have dogs and things like that on the ground. Our main job is to help establish tactical operations centers, to create an umbrella for search and rescue teams. We want to see if we can unify all training levels and get everything on the same page, so that when Search and Rescue Team 1 and 37 ever get a chance to work together, they can all have the same style of command center operations under their belt. They're all taking the incident command protocols through FEMA training and all that, and just trying to get everybody under an umbrella so that we can all be unified to do the same thing and accomplish the same mission. So here's a couple videos that I'm going to put together and see if it'll help with everything else. If you're interested in working with us or your local emergency management operations teams in your area, get on our Facebook page. We have a website. We're out there and more than willing to try to meet what we can do for you and get you some goals set up and maybe connect you to the right people that can help you. If you're an incident commander like myself, I would love to sit down with you and show you some of our manuals and our stuff, and everything we got, we want to share it with you. So like I said, our job here is to spread knowledge and education throughout the search and rescue community. So here you go, guys. Thank you.
What we're looking at right here is a helicopter landing zone kit from Laser Bright. What it consists of is a nylon pack, comes in coyote brown. It zips up. It's made for MOLLE equipment, so you can attach this to your MOLLE gear as you need it. When you open it up, it comes out with what these are what we call chemical lights. But what's great about these are all electronic, meaning that they take batteries. So see, here's a spare one here, and then I need it to be blue. This one here has a blue band, so it turns blue. What I'll do is turn it blue by clicking it. I rotate it and it turns blue, so forth. So or I can take, and this side here has red, and now all I have to do is switch. If I want the blue on the inside, I unscrew the cap like so. I put it in there, and now if I want a blue chem light, I can have blue. So I can have blue on the top or the bottom. The brand is laserbright.com. They have, for you military personnel, they have NSNs for this, and civilians, you can get on their website and order it. So what's great about this is that it comes with the kit. It comes with 5 batteries. The black means infrared, meaning that only people with night vision goggles will be able to see this one. Then I have red over here, so it's infrared on one end and it's red on the other. It comes with 5 stakes that are built in to it. Inside these 5 stakes, it also has this little. You're allowed to put it on the chem light, and you can adjust to determine how much light you actually want to use. So if you turn this and you just need a little bit of light, which I'll give an example here later, you'll be able to see it. But I find this kit to be wonderful. It comes with spare batteries. We're getting about 125 hours roughly out of the batteries itself for each one. So economically speaking, even if you buy one of these individually, the money that you save on a box of chem lights that last 10 hours is worth your money over and over and over again. I think this is the way to go. So I give the kit out of 5. I give the kit a 5. Change the color lights as you see that you need. Right here, these are little attachments that go to the laser bright chem lights that we spoke of earlier. What they do, they have a little nipple on the end and an IR strobe on there. So say for instance, like this one here I have right here that's still a brand new in the pack is red and blue, but I do need an IR because see, what people don't understand is that there's certain colors that helicopters can't see, and those things are vital to know. You want to stick with red and you want to stick with IR. Those are the colors. A pilot can't see green or blue with their night vision goggles. So if you're using a blue or a green chem light, they're not going to see who you are. So that's something to think about. So these are little bitty attachments. You can buy pieces and add on to your chem lights. This is what the Army calls a VS-17 panel, meaning visual signal. It has string on each side to tie it down. It also has buttons. So you would tie this down with a stake in an area where you would land a helicopter. As you see, it gets pretty big, and then it will fold itself into another bag, but on the other side you'll have this really bright purple, pink. And the reason for that is that in the military, when you're flying aircraft, there's only 2 unnatural colors in the whole earth that you will not find, and it happens to be the pink and the orange. So a pilot is able to see these 2 colors far out, really far away, because there is no other color that's going to look like these. And this is why the visual signal panel is the color that it is. So what also you can do, so is say you're landing 2 helicopters, you can use the orange for one helicopter landing zone, and you can use this one for the other side for a secondary landing zone. So that's how that works there. Obviously you need to stake it down and hold it down. So I would get tent stakes and leave them permanently and keep this wrapped up, and it folds into a pocket right here and stays very small, weighs less than a pound. The next topic we'll touch on is radios in the department. This here is a handheld radio. It's from Bofang. You program your own channels in. It's really, really great. I had to order the lapel separately. This radio costs about $35 on eBay, and it's worth every bit of it. It's simple and cheap, and when you break it, you just order another one for $35. But you can program different frequencies. And so say you're working with one search and rescue team and they're on frequency 155.638, and your team is running off frequency 177.30. You can pre-program the radio frequencies and allow you to jump back and forth and to communicate with each other. And that was one of the things that we had problem with during September 11th. All the interagencies that helped weren't able to work together and be able to communicate. This will eliminate that. This is for fun. You can have one of these, but this is pretty cool. This is a military radio. I use like a lapel off of it, or I use a headset. This is the one I used to call when I talk to aircraft, when I do close air support or any type of aircraft activity. It comes with a long antenna or a short. It's pre-programmable. I can do the same thing. This radio costs thousands of dollars. It's encrypted, so only the military can have it. What's great about this one is here it has satellite communications capabilities, and I can talk to Germany right now if I wanted to. If I pulled out the antenna, connected it, you can talk to it. It's called an emitter by the company named Thales. I'm sure you might have seen some on your video games. If you're military, you know all about these. What is great about this radio is that you can program your unit's communication channels, your primary frequency for your search and rescue team or your military team or whatever it is, and then you switch over to another channel, which is an FM frequency when it's plain and in the red, meaning that it's very something simple that you and aircraft have already communicated with. So when I set up an LZ and aircraft is coming in, I'm already have my headset on and I'm talking to him, and I've already identified the landing zones that he's going to take. I'm going to tell him LZ1, inverted Y or whatnot. I'll be able to communicate with him directly on the ground, and that comes with my headlight. Well, this here is just a Surefire tactical light. I carry it. It's huge bright. But what is awesome about this light here is I'm able to pull it down and switch it to IR. So now that I've switched to IR, you can see that it's on, but there's no light coming out of it. So this is what infrared is. It looks bright because my phone lets it be bright, but realistically, you can't see that out in the field. But if you had a pair of night vision goggles on, it would be just as bright as it was a second ago. With a pair of night vision goggles on, it would be that bright. It's starting to get dark, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. I want to go ahead and set up an inverted Y for you and show you what one would look like. There's two types of ways you can land aircraft: the inverted Y, and then you also have what is called the NATO T, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It's just it's a universal aircraft, and that's what we use, if we had to work with other foreign agencies. So that's an option too. Let's focus on the NATO T for 1 second, because we'll just get past it. It's set up 7 meter first light. It's shaped like a T. I'll show you some photos and stuff. But they're about 7 meters apart, and the top is 14 meters apart. The reason we use the NATO T is if a helicopter is approaching from extreme, like high altitude, up there 5,000 feet, 3,000 feet, whereas the inverted Y is normally what the military uses. And the reason we use the inverted Y as well, it's for aircraft that approach under 500 feet. So they're doing it like an attack level run, or they're skimming because they don't know what they're looking for. They're treetop high, and it allows them to see what they're looking for with the Y. And what's cool about the Y, the little handle on the leg on the end, you point it into the direction of the wind. So if the wind is blowing that way, you build it that way, and the Y will be behind you, and it just tells the helicopters when they come over the top of you which way is the wind blowing. Helicopters have to land into the wind. Once I set up the inverted Y, I'll show you the difference. Helicopters, when you set up a landing zone, depending on what type of helicopter, let's say you're working with the sheriff's department and they're using a small aircraft, you're going to need about a 35 meter circle. Think about the blades of the helicopter. So about a 35 meter circle to land that. If you're landing something in say a Black Hawk helicopter, like we used a lot during Hurricane Harvey, Katrina, all the other ones that won, Maria, we worked with the UH-60 Blackhawks. They have a 50 meter wingspan, or a rotor span. So it's very large. So if you land 2 of those helicopters, each one needs 50 meters apart plus the safety distance between them. And so forth like that. And then if you get into the larger helicopters like the CH-53 or the CH-47, which is the Chinook or the Sea Stallion helicopters, the gigantic ones, they need 85 meters per helicopter. So it's very big. Something you got to think about is the type of terrain. As you're a ground liaison and you're setting this stuff up, you have to think about the type of terrain you're in. You got to be able to have soft enough ground that you can land these helicopters on this terrain. They won't sink. They won't be in the marsh. They won't be in the mud. Hard terrain. Something else that you need to do is also think about the slope. You want it between a 0 and 7 degree slope to land these helicopters. Or also, if you get a bigger one, you get your larger helicopters such as your CH-40, your Black Hawks and your things like that. They can take a little bit larger slope, but it's important that you tell this information to the pilots before they get there, that there's going to be a slope angle. You need to look for all kinds of things in the field. Like, I'm in a beautiful field, it's perfect. The slope is good enough. It's between 1 and 7 degrees, but it's got a little slope to it. But what's great about this one here is that there's no debris in the area. Debris, anything that is 0 to 18 inches tall, should be marked with some type of thing. In a perfect world, we would use a red chem light. Anything identifiable by that, we mark with red all over the place where these helicopters are landing. Helicopters tend to, if you're landing 2 helicopters, you're landing in what's called a trail. One in the front and one in the back. Or you might be landing in an echelon left or right. Meaning like if it's an echelon right, one in the front and then one off to the side. If it's an echelon left, one in the front and one off to the left side. So that's the way it is. And then there's diamonds and other procedures that you can go through. But it's very important that you identify the terrain and you look at the terrain and make sure that when you're starting to set up these helicopter landing zones, that you're doing the right thing. Find a way to communicate with them. Have everything set up. Here in a minute, it's going to get a little darker. I will set up the inverted Y and then we'll see how it looks. It's almost dark enough, so we're getting there. Well, hey, if like I said, if I haven't told you before, you can find us on the Florida Search and Rescue Facebook. You can find us on the internet. We're all over. We're looking for members. We're looking for board members. We're looking for all kinds of help. Whatever we can do to figure it out. We'd love to get some help from you and just, train. Like I said, we're not a team out here looking to bring dogs and people, but we are looking to maybe meet your team and our team, have a sit down, maybe do a briefing over teleconference and a meeting, and see if we can all learn the same techniques and everything together at the same time. Have a great day for this moment, and we'll just give it a little longer till it gets darker. Okay, here's what we did. I did a inverted Y. As you see here, what I do, the first stake, this stake and this stake is 7 meters apart, and then after that, you go out 14 meters out and 14 meters across, so it's like 14 meters this way and this way. So right here is 7 meters to 7 meters. And then I take the next stake and I walk out 14 meters, which is 14 paces. 1 pace equals 1 meter. So I go out and 14. So there's 7 meters this way and 7 meters this way. So they are 14 meters apart. And so there they are. That's what 14 meters apart. So if you saw in the beginning, you see it shaped like a Y. What this Y tells everyone is that the wind, I'm staring right into the wind. The arm of the Y is blowing into the wind. So right now, I'm staring into the wind. If the Y was turned and the arm was facing that way, the wind would be blowing from that way. So what this tells me as a pilot, that I need to fly in on this inverted Y like this. So, or when he sees it like this, he'll see the wind. He has to fly into the wind. So what'll happen is, once he sees this from the air, he will fly around. He'll fly around and he'll approach this way. He's going to land right here. When the pilot's going to land the helicopter between the 2 long stakes over here and over here, facing into the Y. So he'll see the 2 lines that are out there. So these tees, I have them set up special. I'll show you why. Let me rotate it for you. So what happens as the pilot enters these two right here, he's going to set down right inside this. He's got a little window on the bottom of his foot, and he aims for this light. So that helicopter is going to be sitting basically right on top of this light, right inside the Y portion of this. Here's something that's very cool about Laser Bright in this kit. What it does, it has a light that you can adjust and turn it. So I can determine how much light I want to put out. Hold on 1 second. So if I want to put out just a little bit of light, I can literally adjust it to get just a little bit of light or a lot of light. in the same direction, because if you're using these in the military, you do not want the whole world to know that you have these lights out there, because you just told everybody what it is. So you eliminate as much light as possible, and this way, when they're like this, the pilot won't even find it until he approaches from the right angle. And he's like, oh, there's the right angle for an approach on. So great job, Laser Bright. I think you did a wonderful job. You created a wonderful kit. I'm very satisfied with it, and I'm going to be ordering a couple more for my battalion and for myself and things like that. But search and rescue, guys, this is a wonderful tool. I think this was a helpful video. Let me turn this off. This is what's called a IR buzzsaw, or infrared buzzsaw, but we're using a green chem light on a piece of 550 cord. This is what pilots love to see. This will, even if you don't have any of the equipment that you see right here that I showed you today, if you'll use an IR buzzsaw or a chem light buzzsaw, this can be seen from miles by helicopters. Go a little faster. This is what they see. They will see this in an instant. So a piece of 550 cord and a chem light will do amazing things when it comes time to land a helicopter. Guys, I think this was a helpful video. We waited till dark and got everything we needed now, but please upload this to YouTube. I don't see a lot of these videos out there that are helping people do this in search and rescue. Let me piece this thing together and see what we got. But hey guys, great things for all the people out there that are doing search and rescue, all the people that are working hard as dispatchers, or people that helped out with Harvey, Irma, Katrina, everyone that did their part. No one got paid to do any of this work, but it's up to us in a time where technology is being very helpful. You can reach us on Florida Search and Rescue on Zillow. You can reach a bunch of these other search and rescue teams on Zillow. Take the time, explore, ask all the questions you can, because I tell you what, if you wait too long to train or wait too long to buy this stuff, you're just going to be a victim like everybody else. So guys, y'all have a great day. Train smart. Follow the FEMA protocols, follow the FEMA training, and I promise you, you will be the most valuable person on the team when this does happen. Y'all have a great day.